Breaking news now on Connecticut's news station. Our team is on the scene of a massive building fire in New Britain. We'll have the latest details from fire crews still battling the blaze.
And from summery to stormy, we are tracking a couple rounds of showers and even thunder coming up.
Hartford teachers say enough is enough. They rallied tonight against a proposed budget that would see hundreds of positions slashed district-wide. More ahead on what they're calling for and if changes can even be made.
Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We begin tonight in New Britain on the scene of a massive commercial building fire. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Sarah Sanchez.
And I'm Brent Harden. We want to take you right out to the scene to start off the newscast here. You're looking at 59 High Street, just off Columbus Boulevard. Fire crews tell us calls came in just after 8 this evening. They were able to put out most of the blaze in about an hour, but they are still on the scene now. The mayor of New Britain says the building houses a machine shop called the Polar Corporation. Many of the floors are unoccupied. We are waiting to learn if anyone was in the building or if anyone has been injured. We do have a crew on the scene, and we'll bring you updates as they become available. All right, to our other top story tonight. Just one day after teachers in Enfield took to the streets calling for a fully funded education budget, teachers in Hartford are doing the same.
Faculty, teachers, and students all rallied outside Weaver High School in Hartford. They're demanding more money from city leaders. If the proposed budget goes through, hundreds of staff will not be returning to the classroom next school year.
Fox 61's Jake Garcia was at tonight's rally and budget meeting. He joins us now with the latest. Jake?
Well, Brent and Sarah, invest in our students. That's the message to city leaders as the Hartford City Council prepares to finalize a budget that, if passed, could eliminate almost 400 positions from their staffing. It follows a year where the district has already faced staffing shortages to begin with.
Do we think it's okay to borrow from people's pensions?
Dozens of people rallied outside of Hartford's Weaver High School Tuesday night before city leaders heard public comment on the city's $600 million budget for the next fiscal year. The budget would result in cuts of more than 380 positions district-wide. City councilors heard public testimony from teachers and students, which at times got emotional.
I've seen the power that teachers and programming can make in a student life. However, next year's budget will take many heroes and many programs from our school, and it will be the student who continues to suffer the consequences of adult inaction.
Community members calling on city leaders to fully fund Hartford public schools, demanding the city put pressure on state leaders for more funds, as the state has a projected $250 million budget surplus. Educators say the district has been underfunded for so long, it's now at a critical point.
We already have staff that feel overworked, that feel underappreciated, that we know are underpaid. We do not have competitive salaries in Hartford. We're the lowest paid district in the region. And now we're cutting all these positions, which is only going to make more work for the remaining staff.
Something Hartford Mayor Arun Aralumpalam acknowledges.
This is a funding solution for the fiscal year 25, but we hope to have more announcements coming up in the weeks ahead on a long-term solution for our schools going forward. And this is a fight that we will be a lot more active in and insert our presence a lot more in, because I think we all have to be at the table in coming up with a solution to our schools strategy that builds stronger and healthier schools in the future.
Last week, the city announced an additional $10.5 million would be added to the city's education budget, but advocates say that's not enough.
We are still facing $30 million in cuts. Our schools are already underfunded, understaffed, and undermaintained. The last thing our kids need and the last thing our city needs is to be abandoned at this critical time.
Now, the council did not vote on a budget tonight, and they are running up against the clock to make any additional changes. The city council has until May 31st to pass a budget in order to keep city services open starting June 1st. Reporting live in Hartford, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you. Well, right now, part of I-91 South in Enfield is closed due to a fatal crash involving a pedestrian. State police say 39-year-old T.J. Jennings was killed when he was hit by a car around 5:30 this evening. The crash happened between exits 46 and 45. That stretch of highway is closed in the southbound lanes as police investigate. The car that hit Jennings stayed on the scene. The driver and their 2 passengers were not hurt. Police are still investigating. If you saw the crash, please give them a call. All right, time now for a first check on the weather, and we're waiting for some showers to move in.
Gosh, it was such a nice day. When does the rain start, Rachel?
First thing tomorrow morning, right out of the gate, we are waking up to rain, and it looks like we'll see a lot more of that in the days ahead. So today's warmth was one and done. It will be cooler and wetter in the days ahead. Taking a look at the radar, you'll see showers and thunderstorms here moving through Ohio. There are multiple, not only severe thunderstorm warnings, but also tornado warnings that are in effect. This is where the severe weather was going to be greatest today, and tomorrow it looks like south of Ohio will be more targeted, but we could see an isolated severe storm here, although not of that nature. Temperatures right now are in the 60s across the state. We're looking at overnight lows staying in the 50s, and notice as we head towards daybreak, there's a rising chance for some of those showers. So it's a wet start to the day with some rain, chance for a locally heavier downpour or even a rumble of thunder. Midday, though, clouds break for a little bit of sunshine. Temperatures will pop into the 60s and even 70s. And then as we head through the afternoon, especially later in the day and into the early evening, there will be a chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. And while not everybody sees one, anything that does develop does have the potential to be strong and maybe even severe. We'll get a closer look at that. Your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Police in Hamden are asking for help identifying a suspect in a shooting that left a man fighting for his life yesterday morning. They say a 34-year-old man was shot at the intersection of Goodrich and Goodyear Streets in Hamden. That person says the shooting happened after an argument, but he did not know the man who pulled the trigger. Call police if you have any helpful information.
The Hartford community is remembering 2 teens who were shot and killed over the weekend. Mothers United Against Violence held a vigil tonight for 16-year-old Aiden Davis. He was killed Saturday night at the Dillon Place Apartments on Hendrickson Avenue. Police identified the other victim as 19-year-old Levante Brown. Tonight, the group's calling for officials to do more to stop the senseless violence.
And we have to find ways to stop these things from happening, particularly in our community. Too many of our kids are dying in these streets every day. We keep talking about gun laws, we keep talking about changing the guns, but are they really for us in this community? We need to have things to stabilize our community.
These are Hartford's 6th and 7th homicides of the year. Police are still searching for suspects tonight. If anyone has information about the shootings, give Hartford Police a call.
3 months later, in Glastonbury, police have arrested 4 suspects believed to be responsible for an armed robbery at a gas station. The robbery was caught on security cameras. This video from February 4th at the Mobile gas station on Main Street. Police say 4 Hartford residents between the ages of 21 and 25 were involved. They also allege the group was responsible for a series of overnight car break-ins and a burglary at another Shell gas station in town that same night. All 4 were arrested last week on a litany of charges.
Fox 61 follow-up for you. The family of a home health care nurse who was killed on the job has taken legal action. The family of Joyce Grayson says her employer, Alara Caring, failed to keep her safe. Fox 61's Matt Karen hears from the family on their allegations against the company and gets the company's response.
Alara prioritized profits over safety.
Representing the Grayson family, attorney Kelly Reardon says Texas-based healthcare company Alara Caring cared more about money than people.
Joyce would be here today if the defendants and the state of Connecticut had taken very simple steps to protect her safety.
And OSHA agrees. Just last week, they concluded the company should be fined for, quote, exposing home health care employees to workplace violence. And although the family is demanding money to be made whole, they also say it's about change.
My mother was a giver and had more to give to our family and to the community. Although we grieve her loss, the Grayson family will not rest until we ensure that this never happens again.
Change may be on the way. A bill expected to be signed by the governor would strengthen protections, making it easier for nurses to travel in pairs. The 35-page lawsuit specifically alleges Alara Caring encouraged its managers to shame, gaslight, and dismiss staff when they raised safety concerns.
Even if these patients were violent and exhibited violent tendencies and harassed and threatened and sometimes physically assaulted nurses, Alara Caring told these nurses to go back.
But Alara Caring fired back, saying in a statement to Fox 61, "We believe the allegations against Alara Caring are unwarranted," going on to say they provided services only after the state determined it was safe to put Reese back into the community. Following Grayson's death, the CEO posting this tribute to Joyce on their website.
That was Fox 61's Matt Caron reporting. A final note here. As the civil lawsuits move forward, so too does the criminal case against alleged killer Michael Reese. The convicted sex offender has already spent 14 years in prison for stabbing a woman. He's due back in court June 7th. Just over 24 hours left before the end of the legislative session.
And lawmakers had a busy day allocating the rest of the state's nearly $400 million in unspent American Rescue Plan funding. The House passed a bill giving $160 million for higher education, $50 million for nonprofits, $21 million for early childhood education, and $24 million for mental health services. For higher ed, UConn is getting $100 million, and $60 million is going toward the 6 other state universities and colleges. But state Republicans say this bill is really just a disguised budget and accuse Democrats of shirking the fiscal guardrail.
This is a dangerous budget for the state of Connecticut because what it is going to do is set us up for tax increases next year, and also we are going to be potentially now violating the spending caps this year and setting us up to undo those fiscal guardrails next year.
Now, the bill was under discussion in the Senate all evening long, where Democrats expect approval. Even if passed, though, Governor Lamont has expressed concern over a potentially imbalanced budget, making its future uncertain.
An update on an elder care bill we first told you about yesterday. It's on its way to the governor's desk. The legislation requires more oversight in nursing homes, like the creation of an online portal where ratings and reviews can be collected. Senators voted unanimously in favor of the bill. If you've recently been to the Berlin Dollar Tree, check your bank account. Police say they found a card skimmer on one of the machines at the store on Farmington. They're not sure how long it's been there or how many accounts were compromised. They're also reminding shoppers to always be cautious before paying with a card.